Welcome to the Next Level Podcast. Walking towards my seat.
Yeah.
Come on, Felix.
Yeah.
Welcome, Felix,
Yeah.
to the
sit
podcast.
down, boy.
What is Gucci?
Hey, Felix, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome,
It's
guest.
hot
Welcome, you
outside.
too.
It's hot outside. It's cool inside here.
It's nice and cool.
Did you order some Uber Eats?
I had some tamales.
Oh man, we did. We had Julio Eats.
Yeah.
Julio Eats.
Delicioso.
Delicioso.
So we order food from a couple of
Yeah.
guys. We order food from people who cater. They make it for us.
This is what we do. It's no big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, we just
Chipotle
do
today.
it once in a while.
Yeah.
Every day, you know.
Felix, what are we talking about?
We are talking about, dude, the market. It's crazy how people are moving now that they realize
Mm-hmm.
that this is just the way it is.
Yeah. That the dust has settled and the rates are staying around the same. At the beginning, when the rates kept going up and up, the streets were quiet.
No, I wonder how many people are in trouble for telling guys like, no, don't worry, it's gonna go down,
Yeah.
and then it didn't go down,
How many
and it
people are in
stayed the way it is,
Yeah.
and then they call you back, is it gonna go down? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like, oh, wait till the rates drop. I'm not gonna buy. I'm not gonna buy. It's been since 2022.
Yeah.
No, remember quarter. I think it was quarter 3 of 2022.
Yeah. Q3, Q4.
Q4. Yeah,
I
Q4.
think it was Q4.
Yeah, Q4 of 2022. It really went. Things really, transactions dried up.
That's true.
Yeah.
And there's less transactions still, but it's excuse me, not less transactions, lower amount of transactions than there was obviously 2020, 2021. But you're seeing offers come in on our properties. We're seeing it because we have a bigger sample size than most people.
Yeah, we do.
People sell 3 houses in a lifetime. So
2 to 3, yeah.
2 to 3, and a real estate agent may have 1 or 2 listings at a time. We're seeing 12 to 14 to 15 listings at a time that ourselves or our clients are listed, and we're seeing those offers roll in. We're seeing the activity, the showings, they're creeping up. A lot of people are looking.
Yep.
So I have an interesting position on this, and it just manifested out of nowhere in my mind right now.
Okay.
All right. What
Right,
popped up
so-
in there?
From your point of view, it's looking like the dust is settling, right?
Yeah.
And people are starting to move now.
I would say so. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
From my point of view, we said it in a previous podcast where we were talking about days on market being a lot longer.
Yeah.
What if it's just because those days on market are finally cashing in?
It could be. It could be the people finally realizing, like you guys said, hey, we've waited long enough.
Yeah, like these are gonna sell right now.
I think it's seasonality too, Felix.
Seasonality
Hey,
too.
we're summer. People are moving.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's going to quiet down. If rates stay the same, the traffic will go down, like say August, September in Yuma, like
Especially in Yuma.
in this market.
Toasty.
Other markets, I mean, we're not as familiar, now with other markets.
Mm-hmm.
But we know like Phoenix is very similar. The summer, it's, they don't have the seasonality we do like as big, but I mean they still see people. They're still a transitory.
Yep.
They have a lot of winter visitors, people that visit for the winter, so
Yep.
they're going to see something similar to us. So transaction count may be down, but what we're talking about is that people are deciding to pull the trigger because they've been waiting, a year, 2 years, 6 months to buy a house because they're figuring, hey, rates are going to drop. Let's wait.
Yeah.
But that hasn't happened.
Mhm.
No.
They've been in that 7 to 7.5 range for.
Or it could also be that like because the rates are so high that and everything's it's never been an easy choice buying a house because it's a lot of money that you're walking into,
Yeah, that's true.
But now more than ever, it's a lot more difficult, and I think maybe what's going on, it's like they're like, let's give this some time, let's see if we can find anything, and they're at this point where like, okay, well, I think we looked long enough. I think we have all the data that we need. I think we we're about to make an educated choice, and that educated choice is that it hasn't changed, and it looks like it's not probably going to drop. So let's just move forward with this one.
Yeah, people always need a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
So as long as it's, we talked like 2 podcasts ago about affordability. As long as they make it make sense, then like once when the rates went up, everybody was like at a standstill because how hard are these gonna go? No, I'm gonna wait because they were used to the rates being at. They were. I mean, just today looking back, it almost sounds crazy to say, but they were at like at one point like 2-something%.
Dude, that was crazy.
But I mean, everybody was telling buyers hey, listen, the rates aren't going to be like this forever.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't understand the impact of what a rate does to your payment.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what happens is you have people that are shopping. Imagine you're shopping for a house, and you're like, yeah, it's 5%. The rate's 5%. Then all of a sudden, you put an offer, and you're like, okay, we didn't get that house. It's now 5.5. Rate's 5.5. And so you don't remember when there was, well, it's still low inventory, but it was really low inventory. So say you've been looking at houses when rates were in the 4s, and all of a sudden in the end of 2022 they're in the high 6s.
You're like, what?
You're like, yeah. You're like, no, I'm gonna wait for it to go down.
Yeah.
So then a year and a half goes down because I was looking at houses when they're in the 4s and I couldn't get one, or I didn't pull the trigger, and now they're in the 7s. And now they've been here, and you, like Bailey said, you got to have a place to live.
Yep.
You're either paying a little higher mortgage, or you're throwing your money away
Yeah.
in rent.
And I would predict that I would assume agents right now are telling their clients that, hey, you better pick something up now. I know the rate is higher, but once the rates drop, prices are gonna go up. So pick your poison.
But we're getting some deals though too. I mean, yeah, because right now, sure, rates are higher. There's less buyers. I just watched Instagram reel. This guy Arjun, he's Neil Holmes' brother.
Okay.
He's a mortgage lender. He said for 1%, when the rate drops 1%, 1 million buyers enter into the market. 1 million buyers.
Wow.
Because it unlocks a bunch of people that could not afford the median home price.
Yeah.
So, you're competing with, people, but as soon as, like, say you're looking for a $300,000 house in Yuma, and then the rate drops, and say you get another 50 buyers after that one house. So now you're competing against, another 50 people.
Which makes the prices go up.
And so, like, right now, I work with buyers, and we've been getting appraisals that have been over our purchase price. That tells me that we're getting a really good deal. Like, they're buying on the market, and they're walking in with, like, yeah, at a discount. They're walking in with 5, not huge, but maybe 3-4% equity on the market. So they're doing really good, like $10,000-$20,000, because there's not a lot of buyers.
Are you saying right now that appraisals, you're not really losing sleep as much over whether an appraisal is going to come in at the contract price versus before? Because I know before it was like, yeah, we sold it for a really good, let's say we did a flip, we sold it for a really good price, and we're like losing sleep over, man, I don't know if this is going to appraise.
Yeah, I mean, so the values haven't really dropped, but the buyers are getting really flexible, because if the property's been on the market for, it's taking longer to sell, like Felix was talking about, days on market, we've seen them. So the ones that have been on the market, then it's a little bit easier to negotiate because people then want to move the property.
That's true. Yeah, they're like, dude, this property's been on the market for 60, 90 days. Let's just make this happen.
So if the buyer goes in with aggressive, mindset, whether, hey, if I don't get the property, it's okay, I'll find another one, or, whatever their mindset is, then they're kind of like, and we've been seeing this because they're like, hey, I'm paying this tremendous interest rate anyways. So if I get it for a really good deal, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And then so like right now, I really feel there's this like little lull. I just told my wife's friend, I just told her last night, I said, hey, there's probably going to be this little period we're seeing right now where the values aren't really going down, but the prices are. The value's really the same. But people are just getting a little bit more anxious, and they want to move that property. But as soon and we're seeing this in the economy, but because we're seeing it soften. I mean, there's data that's showing that it's softening, as far as the economy in general. But as soon as that rate starts to drop, like we said, it unlocks a bunch of buyers that come into the market, competition, because we still, regardless if the rates drop or not, the affordability is really, because you're going to pay more for the property, the affordability is going to be the same because the prices are going to go up. It's supply and demand. We still don't have a problem. We haven't fixed the problem with housing, which is not the interest rate. It was the demand. It's the supply and the demand. So that's what's keeping the prices elevated. And so it's going to happen. It's weird that we're not in the cycle that because everything points to, when rates go high, prices are supposed to fall.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happened historically.
We're in a weird situation right now.
Yeah, I was just watching CNBC this morning. They're like, we've never seen this. Like, this trend doesn't happen in real estate. And the reason for it is because we're underbuilt. I mean, they need houses now. There's some areas that they're more, the better supplied, where they kind of overbuilt. Like they were saying, like in Texas, some areas like Austin, where they were building like crazy because everybody was moving to Texas or Florida, and even parts of Arizona. Like
more home than buyers.
Yeah, when we were doing national deals and we did some deals in Texas, that was our biggest problem. Was like we'd get a property under contract, and then we would with comps and things, we would comp it out and be like, hey, you're going to be competing against new builds here because there's all kinds of new builds going up in Texas right now in certain pockets.
Remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're seeing that even, like, I mean, you run into that in Yuma a little bit, but you'll be like one house against, there's not like there's a ton of, because if you call the new builder, the new builds, they don't have a lot of supply here. The builders here, they're building more they're not building on spec homes. They're building more to suit that, whoever's a contract that they have signed, they're starting to build. So, fortunately, in Yuma's growing. Like, we're still, growing. You can feel it. You see a lot of commercial buildings going up. Mm-hmm. You're seeing housing starts still going up. So, but we're still underserved. Like, we got a lot of people moving in. Mm-hmm. I think Yuma, we're in a good spot.
Yeah, and buyers are very aggressive. Going back to what Anthony said right now, like it's not just theory. We had a property that we just sold, and we had heard that the person who we went under contract with, the agent of that buyer, recommended that the buyer, hey, put in an offer lower than the asking price, because you'll probably get it because people don't want their property to sit on the market. It's not just theory. That's just how it is right now.
Yeah, we saw that. I mean, that's a good point. I mean, it's not that we didn't have offers. We had lots of showings.
Yeah.
Or like within a couple of days, we had 4 or 5 showing requests. We had 2 offers. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting is those offers came in lower than I thought they were going to come in at.
Yeah, and typically your first couple offers are your highest.
Right.
Or your best.
We negotiated up, and we got to where we needed to be. Mm-hmm. But I was like, okay, this is what the market's telling us. Mm-hmm. This is where we're at. So, I mean, 2 offers, they almost came in identical. $5,000 apart, but that's pretty close, and they were below ask. So that won't happen if the rates drop. That's not going to happen. You're going to have offers very close to ask.
Yep.
And so I think what it was is there was a transition where sellers still wanted the maximum value. They're like, no, it's going to get bid up. Or they were like, hey, my neighbor told me that when he sold 6 months ago, he listed for $350. So and he sold in a day, and so I know people still want in this neighborhood, and I'm going to list mine for $360. And you're like, okay, well, yours is not as nice, and you don't have as many buyers. But we can, if you think $360, so, they were just thinking, okay, it's never going to stop. So eventually, really, their house was worth $350. Their neighbor sold for $350 like a couple months ago. So what made it go $360? Just because, houses don't appreciate like that. Like
that quick. Yeah.
It was a little unrealistic.
Yeah, that's a very common conversation too.
Yeah, it's a different market. I think people are starting to come to the realization, like, hey, that's not the theme anymore of things constantly appreciating.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm glad.
Yeah,
I'm glad it kind of settled down a little bit.
Yeah, it's with people knowing their home prices now, it's a little more of an easier conversation versus before. Like when rates were were low and people were thinking their values of their homes were super high, it was tougher on the investor side. It was tougher to get a deal because people felt like their properties were of such high value, even higher than what they were worth because of what was put on the media, etc.
Lake Havasu.
Yeah, I mean, in that market changed quick, but and it all goes down to, like, you talk to somebody, whether it's on the market, off market. Obviously, we deal with investment properties, so we're talking to motivated sellers. I mean, if they're not motivated, if the question is like, hey, I want 360, well, your last property that sold in this neighborhood was 345. Why do you want 360? Well, the market's going up, and I can wait. And, I'm just downsizing. I don't have to move. If you have that conversation, like, it's probably time to move on. The question is like, hey, if that's maybe we check back, or maybe you sell to somebody else, or you go talk to another, agent who's not as busy. But if the conversation is, hey, I think it's worth 360, well, your last person only sold for 345. Yeah, but I still think it's 360. And the conversation goes like this: well, like, are you getting divorced? Are you relocating? Did you have a death in the family? Because then those three factors, you could take the listing, or you can keep in touch with that individual, and then after they've fished around a little bit and they're like, oh shoot, it's only really worth X, so they'll probably take it. It might be worth your time. But that individual that's just like, hey, I'll sell if I get the right number, or I'm down, I don't really need to sell, that's probably not worth your time.
Yep, nail on the head. I agree.
Yeah, the motivation level, like right now, it doesn't. Somebody could ask $1 million and it'd only be worth 500,000. But if they're motivated, like after they see that it's not worth $1 million, they go back to reality.
That's easier right now.
That makes it if the person's reasonable and they have that motivated situation, or that situation that they can sell for less.
But definitely, if they got the days on market.
Yeah, you can find some deals on the market nowadays. But before, when the rates were low, I mean, good luck. You could still do it, but it's harder. Now you can find some deals on market because people are on the market for a reason. They want to sell.
I mean, yeah, and the biggest thing with as an investor, you're looking for properties. Not everybody takes good care of their property, and that's unfortunate, because if there was like a class in school that you could tell you like, hey, if this is your biggest asset, take really good care of it, because it's worth a lot of money. And we see people, unfortunately, like, dude, all you had to do is like clean this place or keep it, don't wreck your walls, or just live in it like a normal human being.
Right.
And don't, use it as a punching bag, or, whatever, like an outhouse.
But I like my dancing poles.
Well, that might add value.
Okay, what about my swing?
I don't know. I'm staying out of that. I'll ask Chio about that.
My
but
waterbed?
Your waterbed's fun.
Okay.
That's fine. People love those.
My pull-up bars?
Felix, I'm going to go check
All
your
the
house
above
out.
adds value to it, man.
Hell yeah.
An
There you
appraisal
go.
will come in there and be like, all right, it's got poles, swing,
Mhm.
waterbed.
Pull-up ball. Yep.
I got a buyer for you.
Yeah.
All you need in your life, you'll be fit as a fiddle.
Yeah.
So you take that. It's like if you were to take care of your property, you would have a lot more money. We could give you could sell this property on the market, because we give them the option. Hey, sell it on the market. That's where you're going to get your most amount of money, ma'am. I mean, that's we're going to try to do the best for you.
Keep your pets trained and pick up the doo-doos.
Yeah, if you need Felix to train your pet.
We see.
Yeah, I'll train your pet.
Yeah, Felix will train him.
We see that. This Felix is Cesar Milan.
Cesar Milan.
Yeah.
He's also from Culiacan, Sinaloa, which is where I'm from.
See?
That's
Maybe
crazy,
he's related.
dude.
Felix, he's related.
Could be. I don't know, man.
It's your long lost bro.
Could be your
Could
uncle.
be. Could be my uncle, yeah.
Yeah, it's your uncle.
I follow
Uncle.
Cesar Milan on Instagram. He's awesome, man.
He's badass. Yeah, he's awesome.
He'll
I
be
think I
like,
know
you
who
see
you're
this
talking
dog?
about.
You see this dog barking?
Did you see the South Park episode where he appears?
Is it the one with the Chihuahua? And he like put the Chihuahua down. It's like, all right, this is how. Yeah, okay, that's the
Yeah,
guy. Okay,
yeah.
yeah, I know who.
And
you're
they did that on South Park too. I don't know if you
Oh,
remember.
really? No, I haven't seen that.
They got him to train Eric,
No, really.
and he literally went to Eric with like. It was funny.
I haven't
was
seen
funny.
that one. That
I haven't
was funny.
seen that.
That was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that episode or that little clip with the Chihuahua, and he's like, "You
Yeah.
have to show him who's boss."
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Deshaun
have
was
to.
dominant.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, rates with the rates changing, with rates being as they are now. Long story short, we're seeing more traffic than when they were first changing. Now things are pretty constant as of right now. So people, the general public, in our eyes, they're moving again. You know, they're
Yeah.
making offers, they're seeing properties when before they're kind of holding back.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference for investors to make a decision because now they can calculate. Before their expectation was different. We set that expectation. We tell them like, hey, this is what's going on with our
Yeah.
clients. Our clients know. But we got to be priced aggressive or priced correctly. Otherwise, you're going to wait. If you're fine with waiting, okay, let's.
We show them the pudding too.
Yeah, and so
We always have the
it's a
pudding.
numbers game. We know, but so that gets investors. We see that the investor appetite is really big here in Yuma, like for off-market properties.
Yeah.
People, we don't have enough supply. Our supply and demand, and is really tight.
Yep.
But we're keeping our prices level. So
Yeah, if you want to get into real estate investing and you want to know how to navigate this world, call me up. Okay, call Investors Link Up. None of our guys are ever in terra incognita. Never.
Yep.
no, and we like to help. We love looking at a deal, running it down, seeing where we could improve on it. Where if there's something where you're missing or we're missing. So stop on by the office.
Yeah, and ask us any questions. Like if having the funds to do it is a problem, talk to us.
Yeah. Yeah. We can help you there too.
Yeah.
And you can come to our event.
Yuma
On the
REI every second Thursday of every single month, which will be happening on July 11th, 5:30 p.m. over at the 4 Points Hotel.
Yeah.
There we go.
And this was going to be big because we're going to have vendors. We're going to have tables. We're going to
Vendors.
have title company. We're going to have contractors.
Insurance company.
We're going to have insurance company. We are going to have a lending company and maybe a few more. So
Yeah. Lending company and
Yeah,
life
if anybody
insurance
wants
agents.
to show up that wants to promote their business that could be a resource for real estate investors, anybody in the real estate world, reach out to us and you can display, maybe make a table,
Yeah.
just network with those individuals that are doing real estate business.
100%.
Hundo.
1,000 per.
1,000 per. 10,000
Yeah.
per.
All right, guys, that's it pretty much. Thank you guys so much for being here. We are next level home buyers. We don't buy properties.
We buy
problems. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Sheesh. All right.
Hey, I had two people.
Did you?
Yeah.
Damn it.
GGVA1491 and the title Vato.
Oh, that's Manny.
So Manny and this guy. Hey, Anthony had two people.
Who did I have?
The last two that I think stayed was Yuma Threading Microblading and the title Vato as well.
Cool.
Yeah. Two people as well. In the live video.
What did Bailey get? 0?
Oh, we're still live, I think.